put down those tissues, clean your hands, and grab that joystick, because it's time for Triple X Play.
Seriously, please clean your hands before you grip those joysticks. I know how bad sticky hands can feel on a, Anywho, welcome to Triple X Play, a web show dedicated to diving into the dark depths of the video game world to shine light on all the games that lurk in the shadows. These games can cover all sorts of taboo topics, from rape, to murder, to incest, to anything else, or even just some lost horror games. Who knows what we're going to cover on this show. We are all adults here, so I shouldn't have to tell you that I don't condone any of these things in the real world, but I do think it's worth exploring what's already made in the fictional world. If these topics disturb you and you choose to stay here, then enjoy your time and be respectful. And if you're under the age of 18, please leave. But if you lie and stay, that's your daddy's fault, and I'm not your daddy. For clarification, no minors. Leave. Go. Get out of here. What are you still doing here? What do you want from me? Lastly, the goal is to showcase games and describe whether or not they are enjoyable, regardless of the themes they contain. I'm not your therapist. You don't need to tell me that you play Dead or Alive beach volleyball for the sports content. I don't care. We are all weirdos down here. But I'm going to try and keep you away from the games that are full of boring grinding or sex scenes that make you gag, so you can spend time focused on the good shit. That understood? Good! Now, the episodes on YouTube might be censored, but eventually I will be uploading the full uncensored videos in a different location. Keep an eye out for a future update on that. With all that out of the way, let's begin today's episode. Today's topic is a unique game in my heart, a game that showed me that in the beginning, adult gaming is more than just meat and fuck and random flash games on the internet. I'm looking at you, Frank's Adventure. Stay horny, King. No, it showed me that they can be like the games I played on the Xbox, an actual game with fun mechanics, just with some sex sprinkled in, like chocolate chips and a cookie. That game? Oh yeah. It was renamed. Seed of the Dead. Now, Seed of the Dead, on the surface, is not a very impressive game, given how far video gaming has come. In fact, it looks like it belongs along the shovelware that's Nintendo Me, or with all the other shovelware you find on Steam these days. Ugh. However, I think there's a charm to it, as it doesn't feel like a cash grab, but a genuine attempt to mix fun gameplay and sex. It saw Call of Duty Zombies and said, I want that, but with tits. And do you need a better passion in your life than adding tits to things you already like? So what's the game like? Well, you are a black-haired protagonist who survived the zombie apocalypse by evolving antibodies to protect you from the virus. Now, if you end up getting bitten, instead of turning into a zombie, you just get really turned on and need to deal with your boner in order to proceed. Porn logic! Thankfully, fucking someone with the same antibodies will cure you and heal any wounds you have. Convenient! But where do we find people with the antibodies? Thank God, in the beginning, we're introduced to 3 other survivors who also have these antibodies. And even better, they're hot women. Can we please stop saying antibodies now? Aya, the oldest and the leader. She's the mature, responsible type who will take charge with her shotgun. She's also got kind of a sexy office vibe going on here, and I'm all there for it. Hikari, a sailor outfit wearing trustworthy friend who will protect you if things get tight. And trust me, they'll get tight. Kirara, it's a fun name to say. A rich daddy's girl with the tightest red dress humanly possible. Like, do we need to censor this thing? Huh? Well, fuck it. She's a spoiled brat, but she carries a Gatling gun, so I'm not gonna say shit. The game has several game loops. Wave, which is just surviving an onslaught of zombies a la Call of Duty Zombies. Defend, which you protect an object or a woman until time runs out. And make it to the end of the stage killing everyone! That one's my favorite. Along with a few interesting monster types, a decent AI, the game's pretty fun, if a little repetitive. The shooting feels nice, the music goes kinda hard, and the balance of fun gameplay and hot sex is pretty well established. Just be careful, because if you slip up and they die, you'll end up getting an ending scene that shows a bit of gore. This is your warning for that. At the end of every few levels, you'll get a sequence where the ladies are individually caught, aroused with sickness, and you've got enough vitamin D to get them back on their shaky feet. Now, I won't spoil too much, but the ending's worth seeing. Now, the animations aren't the cleanest, the models are kind of rubbery and sometimes break, and if it wasn't for the mandated censorship, the penis would look like it's missing the hole completely, so don't try and decensor it. But even with all that, I still say it's worth a play. I recorded for 1.5 hours and got most of the way through the story. I'm pretty sure this entire game can be beaten in 2 to 3. But I bet you'll be finished before it is. And if you're not, that ending sequence is going to push you over the edge for sure. Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Now, because of game journalism standards, I need to rate this. All the games will be on a 5-point scale based on these 5 questions. My opinion, yada yada. Your view may vary, blah blah blah. Let's go!
Was the gameplay fun?
Mostly. I had fun playing, but there's a few repetitive spots where it gets a little less fun. 0.75.
Was the gameplay hot?
Also mostly. The positions are hot, and I like the idea of the in-game fucking to healing mechanic. That's pretty fun. The models, however, lowered it a little bit. 0.75.
Is the art style unique?
I'll sadly have to give a half point for this. The game was definitely unique for the time, but the characters kinda look like generic anime characters. If this came out today, I'd say no, but I think it's fair for this.
Would you play it again?
I have beaten this game several times in the last decade, so full point.
What is the overall score of the game?
4. It's a classic. There are definitely games better to play, but it's worth a look if you can find it for cheap. I recently learned that there was a DLC and a sequel, so I'll return with my thoughts on those 2 things once I take a break from my Solus Pro. Just kidding. LoveSense, please sponsor me. If you enjoy this, or have suggestions for games hidden from God's light that you'd like me to talk about, let me know. Do the social media things, and go back to whatever's going on your first monitor. Just make sure you keep those tissues close by. This has been Jace with Triple X Play. Good night, my handsome viewers. We'll see you in the next episode, whether it's the clean or the dirty version.